Hey, what's good, people, man? Platinum bearded dread. Tales upon the bench, them. Question, man. How's your prison cell for you? Are you in prison? Are we in prison? Am I in prison? Now, don't get upset, but it's a serious question, man. I remember one time when I was on my bike ride with one of my sons, and we passed one of the prisons, and when you look at it, it's quite somber, man. It's a big, imposing building, and people are locked up in there, they can't come out. Until a designated time. They're not free. They're not, there's certain rules that they've got to follow. All the information is what's I'm looking for? It's vetted that they get within the prison. High levels of violence and rape and murder. A lot of corrupt wardens and officers and stuff. And a lot of the prison inmates experimented on, with all kinds of drugs. The funny thing is, it's not even funny, does that sound familiar though? I remember one time, if I told you, I've been in prison a few times, would you believe me? Well, I have, but that was because I was training to be a counsellor. So I went into Brixton prison a few times. I saw a few people I know there as well, yeah, man. And got introduced to the different wings. But what really struck me most was that there was this like denseness, this like heaviness, it's like a twilight zone. It was almost like it's like people didn't realise, they couldn't see what I saw because I was from the outside coming in. But there was this atmosphere that was really heavy. And I'm guessing if you're in there and you've been there a while, you would know. You just acclimatise to it and adapt to it, thinking that's normal. But the reason why I raise that is because what is the difference between, hey doggy, between those inmates in prison with physical bars and us in this prison with no physical bar? Right now we can't travel anywhere we want to go. And even when we could, we had to get permission in the form of paying money and things like that. Whereas a bird can fly wherever it wants to go. Just like in prison, everything that comes to us through mainstream media has been filtered, has been vetted, has been doctored, if you like, to fit a certain agenda of those who run everything. So just like those inmates whose letters get read sometimes, depending on the level of the inmate's crime, there's no different, because everything that we say and put out into the world on some level is scrutinised if it crosses over into areas that they deem to be going against what we're allowed to do in their eyes. In their eyes, big man. Sorry, but so what's the difference, man? At least with the prisoner, they know that there's something holding them from being able to be quote unquote free, but we have no idea. And just like those inmates, when I went in there was this heaviness, this cloudedness, like this spooky twilight zone, like that was a normality. It's no different to in this prison with no bars, if that makes sense. Just like in prison, we're getting experimented on in the guise of people that call themselves pharmaceutical pharmacists, and doctors. The amount of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that die at, what do they call it? There's a name for it, but basically at the negligence and mistakes made through the medical establishment and pharmaceuticals. It runs into the hundreds of thousands. It's in the top 5 deaths in the Western world. So imagine, at least one of us will know someone who we've lost through negligence or reaction to certain pharmaceuticals or treatment that will just be put down as whatever on their death certificate. What really is the difference, man? And at least for a prisoner, they can, you hear stories of prisoners who, I don't know, They put a rope outside the jail bar. That's going way back. Or even more modern times where you had people rescued, I don't know, that escaped using, I don't know, drones or I don't know, but at least there was a concept of how to escape. And sometimes, if I'm honest, I used to root for I used to kind of clap my hands when they did escape, because I know that's not a joke, man. But in this prison, how do we escape, man? That's if we admit that we're in prison in the first place. That's for another post, man. But it does bear the thought worth thinking about. Do you think this is a prison that's not much different to that which is what we call a typical prison with bars and bricks and mortar? And if you don't, really, when you think about what is the difference, man? And how do we escape? That's the next post, man. Platinum Bearded Dread. Tales upon the bench, them. Yeah, man.